Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to answer the question, why follow Jesus? If you're a Christian today, why do you follow Jesus? What exactly is it about Him that makes you so interested? Is it because of your family or maybe even your childhood? Is it just something that seems like a good idea, kind of like a good luck charm or insurance policy? Is it because, hey, He's a one-way ticket to heaven? Or is it something more? If you're not a Christian, I'm curious, why are you here today? We've been walking with Jesus for nearly 2 months, and you have seen and heard a lot. What is it for you that is so interesting about Jesus? For everyone, what you think and believe about Jesus really does matter. Why you follow Him matters to God. Don't believe me? Let's keep walking with Jesus as we turn to John chapter 6. Let's pick it up in John chapter 6, verse 1. After this, Jesus went away to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a large crowd was following Him, because they saw the signs that He was doing on the sick. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there He sat down with His disciples. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was at hand. Lifting up His eyes then, and seeing that a large crowd was coming toward Him, Jesus said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread, so that these people may eat?" He said this to test Him, for He Himself knew what He would do. In John chapter 5, Jesus heals the crippled or the sick man at the pool of Bethesda. This results in a lengthy discourse about His actions. The religious leaders are angry with Jesus. So in this discourse, Jesus provides 5 witnesses to His deity. Now, we pick this up in John chapter 6. It says, after this. Well, after what? It's the events that we just talked about. But we're not exactly sure how long it's been. It has probably been at least 6 months from those events, but it actually could be up to 12 months since that healing and the discourse. John says that Jesus and His disciples went to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and he calls it the Sea of Tiberias. These are 2 names for the same location. We have to remember that John is writing to both Jews and Gentiles, so we will see a dual description in the book for this very reason. Here Jesus has been gaining a reputation as a miracle worker, so naturally people are following Him. It's likely part of the crowds are pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem for the Passover. But people are following Jesus not for salvation, but for the show. You see, He can do things that no one else can do. They want healing, or at least they want to witness the healing. You see, why you follow Jesus matters. Jesus takes the disciples up on the hill for a rest, for a view and probably some teaching. But the crowds know where Jesus is at. So they begin making their way to Him and the disciples. So John writes, seeing that a large crowd was coming toward Him. Coming actually has the picture of streaming. It was one person after another, after another, after another. It was kind of like here in Lincoln at Memorial Stadium on Husker game day. The crowds just keep coming. All the synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they contain this story. But only John contains the conversation with Philip. He asks Philip, "Well, Phil, they need food, and I don't see a 7-Eleven. What are we going to do?" He asked Philip to test him. You know, a good teacher is there to prepare and grow his students. James tells us that trials are there to mature us. At this point, the disciples have maybe about one more year with Jesus. So he's trying to prepare them for that very day. He's preparing you for a life on purpose and for a purpose. So here's my challenge for you today. Open your eyes. God is preparing you for his mission. Now, I don't know the specifics, but God does. God is preparing you to use you for his glory and to expand and develop his kingdom. But you have to see what God is showing you. So I encourage you, open your eyes. If you can't see it, ask God to show you and to show you the lesson at hand. When we are ready for the journey God calls us to, we will win the day.